Hey everybody! Today we want to show you the process of speaking on the IELTS test, and we have a special guest for this, Ulamjan. Hello Ulamjan.
Hello, Stanislav Yurich.
Now this gentleman has been to the IELTS test before. His overall score is band 7.5 and his speaking is 7.5. But today it's not about assessments. I'm not gonna assess him. We're gonna show you how speaking takes place on the IELTS test. So let's pretend we're on the real test. I'm gonna ask you questions from all three parts. Let's begin.
Sure.
My name is Stanislav Boyka, and I'm gonna be your interlocutor of the speaking part of the IELTS test. Can you tell me your full name, please?
I'm Gulamjan Yoldashev.
And how should I call you?
You can call me Gulamjan.
Gulamjan. Can I see your ID, please?
Sure.
Okay, now we can begin. I'd like to give you a couple of questions about you and your life. Let's begin part one. Let's talk about trust. Tell me, please, who do you trust most?
I would say my friends, who are my peers already, and because I know they're going through pretty much the same things that I'm going through in life, and I believe they are the correct people to turn to if I need any advice.
And have you ever lost trust in somebody?
Unfortunately, yes, a couple times. A couple years ago, when I was back in Tashkent, I had a friend who I called a friend back then, who borrowed a lot of money from me and then just never appeared in my life ever again. Since then, no contact.
Oh, that's sad. What about artificial intelligence? Do you trust AI?
That's a very interesting question. I'm not an expert, but I'm well aware of programming to understand that computers or any artificial intelligence can take over humanity, because I believe computers do not have an idea of let's kill humans. I don't really believe that.
Okay.
So they're trustworthy.
Now let's talk about tiredness. Tell me, please, what kinds of things make you tired?
I would say the things that require me to do a lot of physical exercises or physical activities. For example, in springs that I really have to do the gardening and it's hot sometimes, I really don't like it and I get tired too fast.
I see. And what do you do when you feel tired?
Well, I lock myself in my room, and I've got these new earphones that I bought recently. They're really cool. I listen to a couple of my favorite songs, and that's just that makes me really helpful.
Who do you usually talk to when you feel mentally tired?
Oh, that. Whenever I'm mentally tired, whenever I don't want to talk to anyone else other than the people that I trust, I turn to my friends again, because they are the people who understand me. They are the people who really know what I'm going through, because I mentioned that. So yeah, that's my friends.
Okay, well that can be enough. Usually they ask more questions, but we can stop here. Now let's turn to speaking part two. I'm going to give you a question, which is describe your favorite singer. Okay, this is your question. Now, I'm going to give you a pen and a paper. You can make notes if you want. You have 1 minute to prepare your answer for this question. You can start now. Okay, time is up. Now I'd like to give you up to 2 minutes to speak about your favorite singer, and you can start now.
Okay, now to this question I would like to answer is one name, Ed Sheeran, that ginger boy from Britain who is a singer-songwriter. And I really admire his art and himself because of his attitude towards life and the way he performs, the unique way that he performs his music. And he has that different attitude towards life, because whenever he gives an interview he says being weird is okay. Because in his own words, he was this weird kid who has been bullied at school all the time because of his just hair color, and he says, well, I did alright, you can do alright too. And that really actually motivates me to work harder in life despite all the setbacks and failures. And his music style is just amazing, because whenever he's on stage in front of thousands of people, he doesn't feel any nervousness, he doesn't have any blushing, because these people admire him. That's why they're there, and he knows it, and he performs all by himself, all alone on the stage with his one guitar and this gadget called loop pedal, where he records the background music because he needs something to help with him, since he doesn't have any backup team, he doesn't have any other musical instruments players on the back of him or any other dancers on the stage. It's always himself and his music, and he does what he loves, and he's making an earning by that. And whenever I listen to his songs, I feel like I'm listening to a story of my own life, like part of it, because his lyrics are really relatable to me. Well, I've had some problems that he had, I can say, and that is just amazing to listen to something that you know by someone that you have never seen, but you really want to see it in life. And that is my favorite thing that I really want to meet in life.
Mm-hmm. And what about your friends? Do they also listen to the music of Ed Sheeran?
That is funny because I'm the first person who became interested in it, and then I recommended all my friends about Ed Sheeran, and they are now his fans too.
Okay. Can I take all the papers, please?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Now, we can continue with the last part. We're going to discuss music industry in general. Okay. Let's talk about this in part 3. Let's discuss some questions about this. Tell me, please, in general, who sings better, men or women?
I don't really think that depends on the gender, because your vocal abilities doesn't depend on a gender. And I do believe, if you mean that, what genders representatives are more successful in singing, I would say it's men, because when it comes to women, well, they have lives, they become pregnant, they may lose their voice because of these issues. But men, that's okay for men.
Do singers earn lots of money?
No, I don't really think so. Whatever they're earning, they deserve it, because people who pay this money are their fans, and if their fans really love and ready to pay that much money for what they receive at the concert, that is just okay. Because you can say when someone says too much, it means they're comparing. And if you compare it with teachers or doctors, yes, teachers and doctors earn less than the artists, but there's a point to it. Whenever singers give a performance at concerts, it's just 2 hours, but these 2 hours makes an influence in the fans' life. It can be the best 2 hours of their day, their week, but when it comes to teaching, this 1 hour in the lesson can be the most boring hours of their life. So it really depends on fans' perspective. So fans are ready to pay it, they should.
And finally, do you think singing is a skill that can be developed, or is a gift that is inherited?
That is actually cool that you asked this question. I have seen a video on YouTube with Ed Sheeran, who's my favorite singer, and he has clearly mentioned it that he doesn't like when people tell him he's talented. Because he says, I'm not talented. I worked hard, and that's paying off. And that actually makes sense, because in one of these shows that I watched on YouTube, he reached down his pocket and grabs his phone and plays one music that he sang when he was 13. And believe me, the voice was terrible. I can say I sing better than Ed Sheeran's 13-year-old version. But he worked hard and he made it, and now he's one of the best singers in the world. And I say singing can be developed. It's a skill.
Well, that's the end of the test, and this is how it goes. Now we can see the process. I'm really thankful to you for helping us to understand how it goes. And by the way, I wish you to meet Ed Sheeran one day in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Goodbye.
Bye.